Chapter 1, Geography. So I'll teach you about the first chapter of your geography textbook. Before we go into this, I will be writing here two things, okay? The first one is useful and satisfaction, or satisfy human needs. So one is useful, satisfaction, or satisfy human needs. Using these two things, I will talk about your chapter first. Okay. Now, to use these two, let me take here one example. What is this here? Water, right? Now this water is very useful to us. All human beings, they make use of this water, right? And when we make use of this water, what it does to us is it will give us satisfaction. Or we can say it will satisfy our needs. Right? So now see, by using water, it will satisfy our needs. As I said just now, what is this need here now? Water is useful to what? Water is used to quench our thirst. Right? When we are very thirsty, to quench that thirst, we are using water for drinking. Right? So, this water is very useful to us. Right? Now, not only water, anything, okay, anything which is useful to us, and by using it, if it satisfies our needs, then it is called as resources. Resource. Okay. Now see here, I have used water here as an example. Right? Now what is this water has become? Now this water has become a resource. Right? So I said, what is this resource now? Resource means anything which is useful. Okay. So anything when we are using it, and if that is useful to satisfy our needs, then it is called as resources. Alright, so first chapter is about resources. Alright, the name of the first chapter is about resources. We're going to study in this chapter about resources. Now, water is one example. Apart from it, say for example, I will take up here text book, which you people are using in school. Right? Now, this textbook is useful to us. To us means to you people, right? And you are making use of this textbook to satisfy your needs. Okay, so what is the need here? What is your need here? By making use of textbook, you are satisfying or you are getting satisfaction, right? Okay, so what is this satisfaction? Or we can say, what is your need here? Need is by using textbook, you are learning, right? Your need is what here? To learn. Is that clear? Okay, so textbook here is useful and you're using this textbook to satisfy your needs. Right? So then textbook is also what? Resource. Is that clear? Okay. So like this, we have many examples of resources. Is that clear? Okay. So what I have done here is the first thing is about resources. What is resources here? All right. Now, we can say that resources has two features. All right. Now, these two features are, as I said before, one is this. It is useful. Okay? And second one is to satisfy human needs. So these two are the important features of resources. All right? Okay. Now, next one that we have to see in this is utility term. Okay. Now, what does this utility means? Now, see here. This utility means usefulness. It is usefulness of anything that we use. Anything that we use is called as utility. So I repeat here, what is this utility? Utility means usefulness of anything that we use. Again, in this, I will take up here the example of water. Okay. Now this water has utility. Okay. This water we are using, right? So this water has utility. So when we say water has utility, it means what? It means that utility here refers to, again, this one, to quench our thirst. Water usefulness is to quench our thirst. Is that clear? So we can say water has utility. All right? Okay. Now see here, as I said, this utility, okay, utility will do what? This utility will make any object, or we can say anything, or we can say any substance a resource. Now look here, what I mean to say here is utility. Okay, utility will do something. Now, what this utility will do is, this utility, as I said, usefulness, right? So, this utility will make any object or thing or substance. Here substance means material we will take up. Okay, a resource. As I said before, resource has two features, right? So one is useful. Is that clear? So anything you take, say for example, see here, I have taken here example of water, right? So water has utility. Water is useful, right? So because of it, because water is useful, now water has become what? It has become a resource, right? So water is now a resource. All right. Okay. So see here, I repeat again this concept. Utility. What is the meaning of utility here? Usefulness. It refers to the usefulness of anything that we as a human being use. All right? Now, this utility, okay, so this utility will do what? This will make any object, anything, or any substance to become a resource here. Is that clear? Okay. So, this is about utility, right? Next one is, how does something become a resource? So this is the question here. How does something become a resource? Now see here, something. So we will take up things here. Anything. Okay. Will become resource only when it has a value. Okay? So things, anything you take, alright, anything will become a resource. It will become a resource. So when it will become a resource, only when this thing has value. Now see, we are getting a concept called as value. So instead of using concept here, I will use, we are getting here a term called as value. Alright. Now, what is this value? What is the meaning of value here? When we say value, it means worth. It means worth. Okay. Now, I will take up here one example again. What is this here? Money. Right? So, money has value. Money has value. Now, as I said, money has value. Now, what is this value here? This value is nothing but by making use of money, we can have goods, right? We can exchange this money for goods, right? By using money, we will get goods. We can purchase goods. So, money has value. Right? Okay. Same thing. Even resources. Resources, they have value. All right. Resources, they have value. Now, this value I will categorize it into two things. One is called as economic value and another one is non-economic value. Alright. So see here, resources have value. Now this value, we have two categories of value. One is economic value. Another one is non-economic value. Now what is this economic value? So when we say economic here, we mean we are expressing the value of resources in terms of money. Okay, when we say economic value, resources have economic value. What does it mean here? It means that resources value can be expressed in terms of money. So this is economic value. I'll give here one example. Okay, say we will take up here one metal. Metal, resources. It is a resource. Okay, so we have different types of metal. So in this, I will take up one metal here, which is called as gold. Okay, so this resources, value, it has value. Okay, and it has, we can say, economic value, which means that the value of this gold can be expressed in terms of money. Right? Okay. Then we have non-economic value. Few resources they have value, but we are not expressing its value in terms of money. Alright, so see here, few resources are there which has no economic value, which means what? Such resources are valuable, but these resources value are not expressed in terms of money, called as non-economic value. Okay, now there is an example in your textbook regarding these two. Okay, so here I have taken metal, one resources as an example. Okay, now in this, what is given in your book is a beautiful landscape. As an example, beautiful landscape. Right? Okay, so landscape, it is a land, right? It is a very beautiful landscape. Now obviously this one is resource. This is one resource, right? Okay, but as I said before, this resource has value. It has value. But we are not expressing the value of it in terms of money. So, we are calling it as non-economic value resources. Okay? Okay. Now see here, what I have done is a brief recapitulation here. The question was, how does something become a resource? Right? So, things will become resource only when it has a value. Okay, things will become resource only when it has value. And when we say value here, it means worth. It means worth. Alright, so here I have taken example of this one. See here, money. Money has value. What is the value of the money? Money can be used. Money can be used for what? To buy goods. So it has worth. It has value. Okay. So see here. Now as I said before, like this, even resources have value. Now this value we can see economic value and another one is non-economic value here. Few resources, they have economic value. Few resources, they do not have economic value. So example of economic value is here, this resources, gold I have taken here. Okay, so this one we can, the value of this one we can express in terms of money. Then it is called as economic value. Non-economic value is what? Though the resources has value, but we are not expressing the value of it in terms of money. So it is called as non-economic value. Alright, okay. And one thing here we have to see is, we have to look for the use. Okay, we have to look here for the use of the things. See here, what is this? Use. Okay, or we can say use, utility, right? So use or utility will do what? Will give a things of value. Alright. Now see here, as I said before, something become a resource, right? Things become a resource only when it has a value, right? Now, it is the use or utility which will give a things a value. Okay, when things gets a value, it depends on this one. If a things do not have utility, then there will be no value to it. Alright? Okay. So it is the use or utility which will give a things a value. Alright? Okay. Now, next we have is some resources. Before I said resources having economic value and resources which is not having economic value. Now we will take up here one thing. See here, okay? Some resources, they have no economic value at present. Some resources, they do not have any economic value at present, but later, with time, what will happen is such resources will become economically valuable. Economically valuable. Is that clear? At present, they have no value. Though they have value, but they don't have economic value. But later, with time, what happens is such resources will become economically valuable. Now in this, we will take up here one example which is given in your textbook. Okay, so it is about home remedies, right? Home remedies, say for example, prepared by your family. Now this home remedies, I will take up here one disease, cold, right? So usually what we do is when we get cold, we have each family, they use their own home remedies to fight with this cold problem, right? Say for example, we are using ginger, honey to fight with this cold, and it is effective also, right? Now, such things are used in home only. They have value, right? They have value. What is the value here? To cure cold, right? Now it has value, but it has no economic value at present, right? Now this thing will become economically valuable. Okay, such things will become economically valuable. So when it will become economically valuable, when there is a word called as patented. When such things are patented and sold in the market. Now what is the meaning of patented here? Patented means inventors. Okay. Inventors, they do inventions. Now in this example, who is the inventors here? What they have invented? Home remedies to fight with cold, right? So inventors is your family members. Invention is home remedies, right? So patented here means now if inventors will give rights to sell such home remedies in the market, then what happens? Here, home remedies, this one has become economically valuable. Earlier, it was non-economical in nature, or it has non-economic value. Is that clear? So what I mean to say here is, keeping this as an example, we can also consider some resources which we are using at present, which has a value, okay, but it has no economic value. But with time, what will happen? Such resources might or may become economically valuable. Is that clear? Okay, so as I said before, such home remedies are very effective in fighting with cold. So obviously everybody would like to have this remedies. They wanted to sell it in the market. Right? So such things are becoming economically valuable. Is that clear? So with time, what happens is some resources will become economically valuable here. Now next one we have here is, there are two factors. Okay, there are two factors that can change any substance into resources. When I say substance, we can take it here, material. All right, so two factors are there. One is time, another one is technology. These two factors will do what? These two factors will change any material into resources. Okay, so any material to become resources, it requires two things. One is time and another one is technology. Now this one we know, right? Now what is this technology here? Now technology in this, it means latest knowledge used here. Okay, using latest knowledge and also skill to do something. Is that clear? Is called as technology. Now we know this one, latest knowledge. Okay, now what is this skill? Skill is what? Skill means to do something perfectly. Okay, is called as skill. Say for example, you are doing some job. If you are doing that job perfectly, then it is a skill. Is that clear? If you are writing something perfectly, then you have writing skill. All right. So technology here means knowledge, and that too the latest knowledge, and having skill. Okay, to do something properly. All right. So these two things, what these two things will do is, these two things will change material or substance into resources. All right. Okay. Then, now listen here. Okay. As I said, technology. All right. Now, this technology. Who has this technology? Or who possesses such technology? It is people. Right? People has knowledge. Okay? People has skill. People using both to get the job done perfectly. Right? So now see here, what is happening is, this people, okay, this people is considered as resource. This people is considered as resource. All right. Now people is an important resource. Now when we say people as a resource, what does it mean? Okay, so it means when we say people resource right? It means people, as I said before, has technology, right? So technology here, knowledge. People has ideas, right? People has skill, right? People goes for inventions. People discover certain things, right? Now see here, there is a one word, inventions. What is this invention? Invention means to make something very new, which is not present in the world, which is not at present in the world. So that will become inventions. Okay, so see here, people is having technology, that is knowledge, latest knowledge they have ideas, technology, skill, and they go for inventions, they go for discoveries, right? Now people will use technology, this one, technology, this one, ideas, right? They go for inventions, they go for discoveries, and people using all these things, what they will do is people will create more resources. Say for example, knowledge use. People will make use of their latest knowledge, their ideas, their skill, and they will use it in the creation of more new resources. Right? Okay. And also they go for inventions. They are inventing lots of new things. They are going for discoveries. Okay. So inventions or discoveries, also these two also, it leads to many other resources, many other things, resources or things. Say for example, invention. There is an invention. Example which is given in your book. Invention of wheel in ancient times. Right? Now this has cost. What it has cost? Now wheels are used for transportation purpose. Transportation vehicles, in such wheels are used. So see here, I said invention of this thing leads to many other things. So wheel has cost, this one, right? Wheel has cost the development of transportation materials. Say for example, vehicles. Likewise, discoveries. Discoveries of what? It is given in your textbook. Fire. People discovered fire in ancient times, and because of this fire, it leads to the practice of cooking. Cooking started after the discovery of fire. So again, invention, discovery leads to many other things. Is that clear? Okay. Now all these things, see, innovation, discoveries, skill, these two are done by the people, and these two obviously done by the people, and people having latest knowledge, ideas, skill, and all these things, they will use it to go for such things. So because of this, people are considered as resource. People is considered as a very important resource. When we say people as a resource, we refer it to the things that people possess, the things that people have, which is nothing but technology. These two: technology, ideas, and all these things. And because of using all these things by the people, it leads to the more creation of resources. Is that clear?